So by now, you know the importance of progressive overload and how we need to use bigger weights if we want to get stronger and build more muscle. We don't always have the availability of that weight though, and that's why there are other ways we can challenge our muscles and use progressive overload. That's what we're doing here at my garage today for the Level Up, your MVP exclusive series where we teach you how to level up basic exercises and get more out of them without necessarily using bigger weights. Today we're gonna take the basic dumbbell biceps curl, a staple if you're trying to grow your arms, and we're gonna take exactly one set of 20-pound dumbbells. And I'm gonna show you how to progressively add challenge every single set and every single workout with those dumbbells, challenging different parts of your biceps every single time. So before we move on to our level up moves, let's master the basic dumbbell curl first. And that's gonna start with your posture. We wanna make sure glutes are nice and tight, abs are nice and tight, we're pulling that rib cage down and in, and then we're gonna pick up our dumbbells, own those fundamentals, squeeze our shoulder blades back, and make sure that our upper arms are staying perpendicular to the ground the entire time. What I don't want you to do, I don't want you to rock when we curl. We don't need that. And we don't want our elbows to shift forward when we're curling either. We want to think upper arms perpendicular to the ground. All we're gonna do is curl up from there, turning our wrists towards the ceiling as we do, so we get a really good biceps contraction. Once you can do 2 sets of 10 to 12 reps there, really own your form, then you're ready for those level ups, then we're gonna take on our variations. So once we've got that basic dumbbell curl down, we're gonna go to one of my favorite curls, and that's the halfway pause curl. So now we go into this curl, and again, all we're doing is a very basic tweak. So we're gonna curl up both dumbbells all the way. When you lower down, you're gonna lower until forearms are fully parallel to the ground. We're gonna pause and own this position. Again, creating a lot of extra time under tension and this awesome opportunity to make sure when I curl up and when I lower down that my wrists are completely turned towards the ceiling. By owning forearms parallel to the ground, again, creating that twist, I'm challenging that other function of my biceps. It's also gonna make it that much more effective because I have that great feeling of understanding this position. When I curl back up, I can make sure that I'm hitting that point where my wrists rotate upwards on every single curl. So let's give us a couple reps. Again, lingering, think of counting for 1-2 seconds when you're in this hold. It's gonna force you to really control that eccentric contraction overall. We can't rush anything. When you get that down, hit 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps, make sure you own that, and then we'll be ready for the next level. So now let's level things up even further. On that first curl, we learned the value of that forearms parallel to the ground position. Now we're gonna live there and build even more time under tension there with the half iso alternating curl. So now we're going right back to that forearms parallel to the ground position on this curl, and I'm gonna live here. So I've gotta hold this position for my entire set. I'm gonna hold one arm in this forearms parallel to the ground position. The other arm is gonna do a full rep, then lower into that forearms parallel to the ground position. So basically I've changed the starting and stopping point of a curl. Normally we think of we're on the ground for the curl or we're at the bottom, but now we've changed that to this position. It means every single moment of every set, our biceps faces tension. When we're doing this, we also get this really good chance to stimulate our core because I wanna make sure I'm not leaning down to one side on any of my reps. I wanna make sure I'm nice and consistent so core and glutes get a little bit of extra work here too. And again, every second of every set, I'm building time under tension. Think of doing 8 to 10 reps on each arm on every set. And once we can own 2 to 3 sets of this with very clean form, really feeling that good bicep squeeze, making sure we curl all the way up, then we're ready for the next level up. So now that we've hit 2 ideas that really force us to own that forearms parallel to the ground position, we're gonna add one more function in with the hammer curl, and it is a hammer curl, but it's gonna hit plenty of biceps, trust me. Pause, twist, and supinated lower curl. So now we're going hammer curl up. That means our palms stay in neutral, they're facing each other. We're gonna lower into this forearms parallel to the ground position. We've gotta do it with control, and now we're gonna rotate things upwards. Remember what that rotation does as we rotate upwards. We're hitting our biceps when we do that, when we kind of create that rotation. From this position, I've got to lower down slowly and with control, getting that good eccentric lower as I curl up. So again, we're building time under tension. We've got a lot of control going on here, and we're starting to stimulate our forearms because of all this grip work we're doing. starting to stimulate our forearms by really creating and owning that twist, which is both forearms and biceps. The key thing I really want you to think about when you're doing these curls: 1, total control, and 2, when we're going from this halfway position back down to the ground, I want you to think of taking 3 seconds to do this. This curl works on multiple levels. We're gonna get to really work with a lighter weight here and establish that control, but if you have access to heavier weights, you can challenge yourself, push the weight here, because this is a great curl to really overload your biceps. We get this hammer curl up where we get to be nice and powerful and explosive, then we get to lower down with complete control. I want you to own 8 to 10 reps like that, be able to do that for 3 sets. Then we're taking things to the ultimate level up I've got for you. It's gonna challenge you with any weight that you have. Okay, we're down to our final progression here, and this one is all about building even more time under tension, taking everything we've learned, making a total arm curl that's gonna challenge us in multiple ways. It's gonna challenge our mind too. So here's the game now. The same basic curl we were doing, except we're building extra time under tension in this halfway pause position. So I'm curling up. The first time I curl up, I'm gonna get 1 twist, live there, lower down slowly. Second curl rep, I'm gonna get 2 twists, live there, lower slowly. Third rep, we'll get 3 twists, and you should get the idea from there. We wanna work into the round of 6 or 7 every single set. And every single rep you're doing this, you're building extra time under tension, living in this forearms parallel to the ground position, getting extra twist that's gradually stimulating more forearm work. And keep in mind, all this oscillation and twisting we're getting, all of that is also challenging your overall biceps to stabilize against just a little bit of imbalance the whole time. So work through 2 to 3 sets like that, and we want to hit 6 or 7 reps every single set. Remember, each rep is getting progressively harder. We're spending more time in that forearms parallel to the ground position. Adding more twists is going to push both muscle and mind to their limit. That's what we want to do. Again, we get to accomplish all of this with 1 pair of 20-pound dumbbells. You can put all of these moves into the same workout. Do 2 to 3 sets of each. You're building to great challenge. By the end of that workout, your biceps will feel it. Or you can do 1 or 2 of these moves every single session, gradually build, gradually improve, and gradually just challenge your mechanics in different ways. By the time you're done with this and you've mastered all these moves, you're gonna know exactly how to give yourself a biceps pump with any weight that you have available. You can challenge yourself by going heavier with these. We can work with lighter weights. You just have options and ways to create tension and ways to create plenty of growth. So let's use all these moves, keep these level ups in your back pocket, and let's keep growing those biceps.